So I'm Mayor Rosalind White with the City of Abbeville, and I remember the first day of our swearing in, and the energy in the city was so exciting. You couldn't pass someone on the street who didn't want to talk about the fact that we were having an administrative change and the possibilities of the future of the city, and it was so important that we don't lose that energy. And so I thought I need to take a minute and reflect on the work the council and I have been doing the last year and let people know the direction we want to take the city in. Walking into the first year in office, it was important that I took the things that we learned leading up to us taking office. And the things we heard on the street were that people wanted to see safer streets. They wanted to see improvements to roads. Our roads are in poor condition. All of these things that are tangible in the community, it was so important for the community to see that we set our priorities in line with what the community wanted to see and then put the financial mechanisms in place to make sure that we can afford to make improvements. And so that's the work we've been doing for the last year. We were in the middle of a streetscape project. We've now completed that. That project actually made our downtown much more walkable, better for people who have mobility challenges. All those things contribute to making your downtown more people-friendly and can have a real positive economic impact on the businesses that choose to operate in the heart of your downtown area. That was just the first phase of a much larger planning effort on how we can improve all of our downtown streets. What we've been doing this last year is working with DOTD to take over all of the highways through downtown and turn them back into local streets, which means we have control over making them more walkable, more people-friendly, improving the surfaces, and we have the authority to fix a street when there's a problem. In order to do the things that we want to do and make our community a better place for people and for the people who live here, that means addressing issues like walkability, like the safety of the streets themselves, as well as the aesthetics of the streets and how do you make them comfortable for people to walk and be able to transect on foot or in a car. And it's about building a healthy community, about addressing the issues that we've seen happen in the last decade, the changes we've seen in Abbeville, some great and some not so great, and really having a tentative assessment of those things and then putting the plan in place on how to attack them. So now we've put some funding in place to be able to start attacking the problems that people told the council and I they wanted to see us focus on. The council took action when we appropriated our budget to give a raise to all police officers. That allowed the chief of police to be able to attract more officers to the force, which is part of the equation for making our streets safer. The other thing that I'm very passionate about, and I know some of my council are also, is walkability of the city. I walk a quarter mile to work back and forth. I never have to get in a car, and I love my life because of it. And how do we give that same opportunity to every person that chooses to live in Abbeville? And those are the kinds of things that people move away to go in a master plan community because that's the kind of experience they want. We just have to put a little effort into making our community back into what it was originally planned to be, which is a quaint European village, which was meant for people to live in your downtown and walk the streets and not always have to get in a car to go to everything that you want to do. We have a small city. We just need to make it feel small again. Another thing that's so important to our community is our economy. And, having seen the decline of our economy after we see the reduction in oil and gas and the loss of the milling of the rice mill here in town, it was important for the council to work on economic growth for the community. One of the ways we did that is Councilman Tuchet and Councilman Broussard led the charge to put some money into AA Como Park and look at the turfing of the baseball fields at AA Como. What that effectively did was, one, provided an updated facility for our local youth to play on turf in their home fields, which is a great opportunity. But also, we were able to start attracting some travel ball tournaments, and that provides people in restaurants on weekend and can create the environment for new businesses. And that's how you start using your assets and growing your assets in a way that can drive new businesses for your community. We're not going to stop at AA Como. We actually have 13 parks in the city of Abbeville. Most people don't know that, but part of an improvement plan for a park is going to mean community outreach and conversations and sitting down at a table at a park and having a discussion with the people who live around it and say, okay, how did you get here? What are your challenges getting to this park? What would make you want to come here more often? What's this park missing? And really, before investing in the parks, find out from those who are using it what they want to see so that when we're trying to improve every park in our community, we're doing it from the approach of what the community wants and not just what we think it should be. So building on the fact that we needed to focus on improving our economy, one of the things that I did as a council person is worked with a group of volunteers and the state economic development team on writing a 3-year strategic plan for economic growth for Abbeville. What that process entailed is really doing a good assessment of where we are as a city, what are our assets and what are our challenges, and how do we approach each challenge and what steps can we take to really gain on those. Having a real honest assessment of what does a company see when they come into Abbeville and what is the first impression we give. We wrote a strategic plan, we put that into place, and we have accomplished nearly every task on phase 1, and so we're rewriting phase 2. And I think we're already seeing a return on our investment of time with the big wins like getting the Amazon facility over by the airport and Starbucks come into town, but also in the small changes, which in my mind are much more profound, like a couple coffee shops wanting to come set up in our downtown. It's something we've wanted to see forever. So, the right approach to economic development and saying, hey, we're not perfect. We recognize we have challenges, but here's how we're going to address those challenges, and here's where we're going with the city, and here's what we think can make us more business friendly, and attacking all of those issues. We're already seeing a return on that, and we're going to see a growth in our economy. So all the work the council and I have been doing is important because you need community buy-in. It's bigger than the council, it's bigger than any one department, it's a community effort. And the goal is to start making Abbeville a place that we all love to be, and rebuild our pride in our community and make it a place that we all love to spend time in, and invite our families over, and that families choose to move back here instead of move away. And I think we're on the right path now, and it's just going to take some hard work, some effort, but we're going to get there because I love Abbeville, and I think that the rest of our community does too. So thank you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for the first year in office. It's been a challenge, but it's been so rewarding, and I can't wait to see what the next year has to hold for us.